Good morning, y'all, and welcome back to the channel. Before we get started, I have a quick little chore that I need you guys to help me with. Well, you don't really have to do much. Just watch me work and tell me if you think it looks good when I'm done. It's up here on the front of the house. You can see this is the front of the house, and there's nothing new up here on the front of the house, but we're gonna change that right now. Man, check out that sunrise view. So anyway, you're probably wondering, why are you watching me plant flowers and shrubs and bushes and things? Don't worry, this is not a landscaping video, but it's something that's happening to the house, and I wanted to show you because it makes a huge impact and it actually costs us nothing. So here it is. Well, almost. I have to go buy one more boxwood for right there, but there it is. That's the front of the house right there. And then we have over here by the garage, which is pretty much identical to that, but it's not missing a boxwood. And there you go, right there. So this wasn't a lot of work or money, but it makes a huge impact on the way the house looks. Like if I come out here to the end of the road, turn around and look, boom. Now we have some shrubs in the front of the house. And why are we doing this morning? Well, because yesterday I did a job where a customer paid me to rip all these out and replace them with new ones. And normally I would repurpose these or just burn them and get rid of them. But I was thinking, man, those would look really good in front of our house. So I came home last night in the dark with Alicia and I laid everything out. And as soon as I got this one done, she was like, let's do it. Huge improvement in the house. Didn't cost us a single thing except for a little bit of time right now this morning before I go to work. I also have some more things from that job, which I'm gonna repurpose here at the Watson Casa. That rock right there, all this rock was on top of the flower beds. So I had to pull the rock out, all the shrubs out, and I'm planting new shrubs and put new rock down. I know what you're thinking. It sounds like you did the exact same thing that was already there. And you're right, I did. I just changed the color of the rocks, and I changed the shape of the flowers. But yeah, basically it's still a flower bed with rocks and plants in it. But now I need to do something with this rock. And my driveway is starting to look like it needs a little attention, especially right there, and especially right here in this little whoop, because that collects water and, well, it makes our cars very dirty every time we come in and out. But don't worry, I'm not gonna make you watch me put rock out. I just wanted to show you guys that there are some things happening here around the house, even like this one. This is very unplanned, and this is a byproduct of my job, where all of a sudden I had some things that wouldn't be very good at my house. All I have to do is take the time to put them in. So now that that's done, it's time for me to get back to the rest of my day, which I'm not gonna bring you guys along because, well, I'm working all day. But I will see you guys soon. Welcome back to landscaping with paving new paths.
Landscaping with paving new paths, huh?
Yeah, we're bringing the two channels together. By the way, speaking of the two channels, today I was mowing yards and this lady goes, is that a coat hanger on the side of your truck?
Did you explain to her how it got there?
Yeah, I have these three little graffiti artists that tag my truck every night, and they're about that tall.
Except this one got some mama added to it. So they only drew the broken triangle. I don't know if you can see it here. But every time I came out to this truck, I would look at it and I'd be like, that looks exactly like a broken coat hanger that you ripped the pants off of, and that one broke. So I came and added him a little loop-de-loop hook.
Yeah, I started looking, and y'all have been doing it everywhere. Like right there, BD loves A. We have some tiger claw marks. We have something right there that's probably me. We have this right here that says F plus A circle thing, which y'all, there's only two A's in this family, so it's you or Ashlyn.
Have you looked at?
Oh yeah, and then look at the trailer. Did you draw that?
Yes.
Look, but the same person, it's the same height, that knows the letters A, B, and T are right here.
Yeah, it's really bad because Kayla's in preschool now and she's learning how to write all of her letters. Like she's mastered some of them. So now she comes out here and practices on the chalkboard, she tells me.
Look, so if this was Kayla, she started really good and then she just said, let's just draw a line all the way down
Ashlyn.
the trailer.
Ashlyn line?
Does that even look like my hand?
It looks exactly in line with your eyes. Look, she's giving you another one, another tiger stripe.
Do you know I go in public like this and people are starting to question me now?
If you just wash it, then you wouldn't have to worry about this.
Do you know why we don't wash it? Because both
have
ways
no
out of our
time.
house, there's construction.
Exactly. We are tied down with construction everywhere we go now, and it's like repaving the roads, and so everything is just filthy. So we'll let it be for the winter.
So do you want to go see your almost free landscaping?
I do. I'm so excited. Let's go.
By the way, I told you last time when I started this video that this was all free. Well, once we laid everything out, the site supervisor right here said it'd be cool if we could fill it in a little more. So it's no longer free, but it was very cheap to change the front of the house.
Should we move the John Deere's?
No, those were required for installation.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes. I love the little ones you added. So did you tell them what was free?
Yeah, they saw the free stuff. So
Okay.
we've added like, I think 5 more bushes.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 things here. That's awesome. I think it looks so good. It like changed the front of the house. Like Kevin and I were talking the other day. It just makes it feel like more like a home. Like it looks finished now. I mean, it's nowhere near finished. We still need like beds and everything, but it's getting there. It's one step closer, which I love. This looks good over here too.
Yep. Look at Bubba just doing donuts.
Bubba is stuck.
He's got 1 speed on. This is our new front yard. It's not perfect, but it's better than it was.
Yes.
And the reason we're just doing this is because, well, we're not exactly ready to do full-on landscaping, but most of this was free.
I mean, if you get something free, you might as well. We did add like 1 boxwood and then the small ones, but everything looks good. Now the question is, what's next up here? Because we have some decisions to make and we might need y'all's help. So help us decide.
So you might notice this weird concrete thing right here, and it runs the whole length of the house. And we actually thought that it was old flower beds.
Yeah, I thought it was the flower beds because it goes literally around the entire house.
But after seeing it rain, we think it was put in place because it's identical to where the eave of the house is. So when the rain falls off, it doesn't wash off anything. So it's there for a reason.
Seems like an expensive thing instead of gutters.
Well, I think it might have been a flower bed at some point and they left it because it kept it from washing away. And we also noticed we found this French drain. There's one right there and there's one right here. I assume it goes that way because when it rains, guess what? We have a lake right here.
Yeah, like it's almost come over the porch before it's rained so much. It just comes off this roof line like so much. So it begs the question, we originally thought we were just going to come jackhammer this out. I'm so glad we didn't because when it rains, it literally washes everything out. So I think we're holding on to this until we get gutters. What do y'all think?
Well, I think before you do anything landscaping, you need to figure out the drainage. And number 1 is the gutters. We need gutters and we need to control the flow of water.
Right.
Especially around the house.
Graded correctly and then
we can decide on landscape. This is here just to look pretty and to help keep things from washing away, but really it's because it was free and they would die if we didn't replant them.
Yeah.
So why not let them live in a temporary home? They'll be somewhere close to that. They may come further away from the house when we get done. This is what we want to do. And we're going to add some things right here in front of the house, but low-lying things. And we'll give a nice little bed with rocks or mulch or whatever we're into that year.
Yeah, whatever we're into. But I'm excited to have this all come together because once we have flower beds, like actual flower beds that wrap around to the front and then tie it all in, it's gonna look excellent. So, and I don't think it's gonna cost that much. Now, whoever gets the tedious job of jackhammering this stuff out, I assume is what you're gonna have to do. Me, I'll probably last like 30 seconds on that thing. It's a lot, so we might have to have a jackhammering party. So if you want to come to a party, let us know what date works for you. We'll invite you.
Remember all that rock that was in the trailer that I told you I wasn't going to show you until I was done? Well, we put it out in this hole, and that giant pile actually went nowhere. It covered in this little hole and didn't really go as far as I thought.
This is a pretty big hole though. Like it had washed out a lot. I'm so excited about this because when we go out, like it's a noticeable change now. So, I mean, it may not be the prettiest, but neither was this up here. So, functionality over prettiness for the time being.
And after we put this out, she was like, it would look amazing if we just brought in all this gravel all the way to the concrete and even put some over here where we back up. And I said, that's cool. I'm going to the place today. Let me see how much that costs. And guess what? We're not getting none right now.
Not this, at least, because this is quite pricey.
This is called Dark Star.
And
apparently it's real fancy, and it's for flower beds, and it costs like $200 a yard, and that's gonna be like $4,000 worth of material to do this driveway.
Yeah, that's a little much. So we might have to go with the tried and true gravel, or what do they call it?
Just limestone or stuff like that.
Yeah, the chopped up asphalt or something. I don't know, but I just think that it would definitely help this whole area because this is so.
I know.
dirt.
Backing in the trailers, I noticed that my trailer didn't tip like it usually does.
Yeah. And so now really the only really bad place is up here on your passenger side. When we come off, I try to come off on this side over here, but if we could just get that filled in with some rock or something, because I don't think we're ready to do concrete yet. We have big plans for concrete in our future, or asphalt, whatever we decide to go with, but I don't think we're ready for that. But like, we're ready just to make it better than it was for right now.
You know, that's a common theme. It's always better than it was. Because in order to do things the way we want to do them, you don't want to waste money.
I know, and if it does, it kind of feels like we're double paying sometimes. Like we want to do this in the long run, but for the short time, do we want to live with the problem, or do we want to just go ahead and pay a little money, fix some of the problems that are like on our nerves, and go about our days?
And the problem with almost every one of our problems is it seems something simple to fix, but it might require like 14 steps before that needs to get done before you fix that specific problem. And then some of our problems, it's like, well, you want to do shop things, but we should address house things first. Well, then there's a point where those two things meet, like electrical issues, and it's like, how do we want to run everything? So it's always like the chicken or the egg thing. What comes first?
Exactly. Same on the inside with all the changes we want to make there. Like, you just get a little overwhelmed with where to start. So we've just decided start chipping things off little at a time. And so this is something little that really in the long run's not going to cost a whole lot, even if we do have to do it again in the future, but it would make such a difference for the house and for the way that we use like this area. So
also I'm gonna blame it. This is the reason my truck's dirty.
Yes,
it's this driveway.
This driveway, not all the construction zones we go through, and the fact that we live in the country and you work in the dirt, but we won't worry about those things. I mean, I don't have an excuse besides this driveway, but yeah, it's this driveway.
Speaking of just good enough for right now, we're gonna do something we haven't done in 4 years. That is winterize something, because before we just get it in our truck and drive it away from the cold. So we have a water well here, and all this is full of water. And the last 2 mornings it's been in the 30s when I woke up, which means it's getting close to possibly getting below freezing one night. And I don't think this giant metal tube full of water is gonna like being frozen. It's not great, and I've had to learn some things about it. Like you can see right there, I had to dig because I don't know where things go.
Yeah.
So I know this comes out of the ground. That's the well.
Okay.
This is the tank.
Okay.
And up until I dug that out, I didn't know how the water got to the house. So since there's 2 pipes, I'm gonna go ahead and assume one goes to the building.
Okay.
And one goes to the house.
So one goes here, one goes here. Okay.
What I'm confused about is how come there's no way to turn off the house and the building separately. So future plans involve putting a valve in there so I can like shop off, house off. But in a perfect world, you'd have a nice little building around this so it wouldn't freeze.
Okay.
It's kind of like our old house had the pool pump with the heat lamps.
Yes.
Same thing. My problem is I don't want to build a building here because I don't want this to exist right here.
Right,
now.
This isn't a bad space from what we're gonna do in the future.
Yeah, again, back to the future, chicken or the egg. So, if you don't know, our property line is not actually that fence. Our property line is almost the edge of that building, and it goes way out there towards that pond. That means we have a lot of unused space that we're not using right now.
Exactly, which means we would not have this front and center in our house.
No.
We would have it tucked away somewhere where it wouldn't be like right in the way of everything.
So long term, we think the shop would look better in this corner over here because we could have a much bigger shop and a better use of our space. Also, I would love for this water well to just be over there somewhere. In the corner, maybe part of the new building we build, somewhere where it's done right, right piping, all the good stuff.
So what's the project today?
We just need to survive right now because, well, winter's coming and we don't want it not to freeze. So we're just going to cover that up with insulation tape so it doesn't freeze. I learned that they make blankets. So I have to go measure and see if Lowe's has one. If not, you can order one. It's a blanket that goes over the tank.
Okay, so we're gonna get a blanket. Is that a Blue Store?
Or online. So a blanket to go over it. We'll wrap all the pipes. And then I found some more things. Well, we're gonna go over here because it just makes more sense.
Okay.
Exhibit A.
Okay.
This fence apparently has water.
Okay.
Would you believe me if I told you I have no idea how it gets here?
Is that right?
How does it get from there to there?
Maybe there's a pipe off the well part for this side?
I don't think so.
I found one of these laying down in the back corner over there.
That's what made me start looking around.
By the fire pit. I just thought it was an old one. I didn't realize there was actual water here on the fence.
So I have to wrap this one because obviously it will freeze.
Yeah.
You ready to see the next stuff I discovered?
Sure.
Welcome to the side of the shop.
Hi.
Don't know what that was. Was that an outside urinal? I'm not sure.
I think it's an overflow for the bathroom.
Also, there's this one right here. This pipe comes out of the ground and has water.
I just want to know how I've never noticed these in all these months we've been living here. Like, how have I not noticed all these faucets everywhere?
So I'm gonna go ahead and assume that that is the line from there that gets to the shop.
Okay.
My one thing is I don't understand is you see where this is right there? When you come in the building, oh, look at that. There's more weird stuff I just discovered. I just discovered that right now with you.
I don't even know
So
what we're
there's a
looking
line
at.
that comes in the building, not into the bathroom, and then they just have a T and they foamed over it. These are pipes right here.
Oh, okay. So
That they spray foamed over.
Insulation over. Okay.
So that's how it gets in the bathroom from over there. So we just learned together.
Okay.
But anyway, we have to wrap that because, well, it'll freeze.
Okay.
And the reason that we have to wrap it, because in a perfect world, like I said, the valves, in the wintertime, I just go over there and shut off the water to the shop because we don't use the bathroom right now.
Right.
And the whole thing would just be winterized that way, no water here.
Yeah, that'd be excellent. Much better than having to turn off all the water to the house.
So you want
So is there any other secret faucets?
let's go.
I'm sure there are.
Look at your kids.
Aww. What are y'all doing?
I'm trying to pet the baby.
You feeding the baby?
But
Yeah, the mamas are being protective, aren't
Yeah,
they?
but one of them
Well,
are
especially because Buddy's over here.
What's up, girls? Hey, could y'all not feed them by this thing right here that we need not to break? So anyway, there's another one. Also has water on it.
Okay.
I don't know how water gets there either,
Okay.
but we have to cover it up.
And then, do we have to worry about the one that the pipe went?
Well, you brought me a thing that was laying over, but there was no water coming out of the ground, so I'm assuming we're good. Okay, this is something you actually do know about. Right there, there's a spigot.
Yes.
We got one of those little covers that covers it.
Okay.
Those two are our drain lines. We learned those the hard way. Lessons
So
learned.
those are okay.
Yeah, well, they're supposed to let water out of the house.
Okay.
This is the weird thing.
But
So there's two pipes here, right? And I was like, okay, that's how it gets to the fence because they're cast pipes. This one right here is actually broken and has a cap on it.
Oh gosh.
And this is another one they put in line that goes somewhere. And I was like, okay, that's what feeds the fence. Except for on the back side of this, remember when we had to fix the hot water heater? Mm-hmm. I did some testing and I saw nowhere for that to go, so that's not hooked up anymore inside. There's no water supply going to that anymore because I didn't put it back in. And guess what? The fence still has water. I thought that was the fence water. But when I had the water off, nothing in the house stopped working when I removed that line on the inside. So I have no idea how that gets water unless it was going to your magic one out there.
Maybe so.
But yeah, it had a valve on it. I turned it off, nothing stopped working, so I just disconnected it.
So we're not doing anything to this one.
Whoa, we're gonna
Maybe
put.
we should. Just
We're
in
going
case.
to just in case it's water coming into the house
That
some
would be our
magical
luck.
way.
We don't know where it's going or coming from, but it freezes, and then we have to deal with that. Yeah, let's cover that.
This is not water related, but you can see we still have the flower bed. See, this is where we think it's a flower bed because look how far it came out here. It's
Yeah.
way away from the eave,
Yeah.
and you can
I
see the
think-
washout it does from the eave.
You know what I also think it was whenever they probably originally put the house here, or they were bringing in the dirt for it. It was a
Oh.
way to keep the dirt, because it's built up. I
Yeah.
don't think this was a natural hill, and so I think they just did it to help keep things in.
And then sometimes I wonder, is it from the original house? Remember, there was a house that was moved off of here.
Oh, yeah, it could be. Could be. I don't know. Things you wonder.
Do you actually sit around and wonder?
Sometimes.
So we have this.
Yeah.
We got a cover for that.
Okay.
I actually forget that one exists.
I know.
Actually,
Oh. Ooh.
Ooh.
This hadn't been turned on for a while.
Yeah, I'm afraid to touch those because if they they want to not turn off, then like that's hard to fix. That's call a guy.
Uh-oh. We don't
Because
wanna do
like God knows what our walls are on the inside.
that. Right.
And then we have this. I have no idea what this is.
Oh.
Just a pipe that goes into the house. Likely, probably water. So we're gonna cover it anyway. That goes in the girls' room somehow.
Interesting place for water to come in. Yeah, into the girls', which wasn't always a bedroom, but.
And then over here, behind one of our new plants, we have that one.
Oh, okay.
Which I bet you didn't know existed.
I did not.
I actually used to think there was one over there, but
Yeah.
apparently I was misinformed what I thought I was there.
Okay, so we really don't have much to do. Put covers on a bunch and then wrap some things up.
Yep.
Y'all see how easy that is? It's gonna go like that.
So that brings up some questions we have. We already know that we love having a water well. We don't like the location. We know the well is right there. And I've talked to some guys and they say that you could actually move the tank and everything to somewhere else. But we also need to have our water tested. We did an at-home test and it's very, very salty. So we've already looked into what a reverse osmosis system would cost, and it's pretty pricey to get the right one. So that being said, we'd like to move this. We'd like to hook up a nice water filtration system, probably reverse osmosis, and we would like to valve all this a little better than it is so that it's actually usable and we can do maintenance on it. We also have the option of adding city water to the house, which would also require a good filtration system because, well, we like clean water. So I had this idea that in the future, maybe we can have both. Maybe I can just valve it up to where the city line can come in, the water well line can come in, and I can just decide city water today or the water well today. It just depends because this is good, but if electricity goes out, no water. Whereas usually with city water, when the electricity is out, you still have water to the house. Now we have this big tank and usually we can take 1 or 2 showers before it's completely empty if the electricity is out. But still, long term, I like all this to be packaged up better and put in a better location and be a little bit more user friendly. But for right now, we're just gonna wrap everything up and let it survive the winter, and we'll deal with this project another day. We have the water well and the tank winterized as good as it's gonna be. Done, 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 and done. And that should do it for all of our upgrades and our improvements right now. So we have new flower beds and shrubs in the front that didn't cost us very much money. We have protected our pipes for the winter, which hopefully doesn't cost us any money. And now we got something today in the mail that's for our home gym. Something we're very excited about. That's right, it's an awesome box. Do y'all want to see what's in the box? Here it goes. And there it is. We have us a new workout bike in the home gym.
I'm so excited.
I mean, it's not the way we wanted to do it. It's a little out of order, but we decided we should get the bike so we know the spacing of our home gym.
Yes, and I'm so glad we got this first because I don't know if anyone's like me who had a grandma or a mom who had like a stationary bike probably back in like the 90s. Do you remember how big they were and like bulky, and some of them had the arms that would do this? Like I just envisioned this thing being way too big for this space. So I'm excited to see that it's nice and compact because we're not working with a lot of space here and this is gonna fit perfectly.
And the reason we got a bike is because, well, Alicia likes to run, but Alicia can't run right now because she has, well, plates and screws in her foot.
Yes, so about 2 years ago I had an ankle injury and broke my bones in my ankle, and that was no fun. And I just haven't trusted it enough to start running again because anytime I walk too long or I stand too much, it just causes lots of issues that I deal with for like days or weeks on end. So when we were contacted by Yesoul about the bike, I was super stoked about getting it because I think it's going to be so good for me for like cardio and just getting back into the rhythm of working out, and it's not running, there's no impact, so it shouldn't hurt my ankle as much. Now I'm probably still going to be sore.
This is going to get you back to running though.
Yes.
We're going to start slow,
Right.
and get there.
Right, I think it will definitely help if I can just build some stamina, you know, start trusting my new bones again with all their plates and screws now, and just know that it's gonna be okay. This is gonna help jumpstart that, so I'm excited.
Another one of the cool things and why we like this bike is, well, it has this giant TV screen, and we don't like to work out without watching something. So we can actually download the app, connect it to our phone, and it'll show all the workouts. So we can actually do riding workouts right here, sitting on this bike, or we can do actual workouts, and you can turn the screen
No way!
and watch it. So we can be working out and following along.
Oh, wow.
Or we can turn it over here and be doing our stuff.
That's so cool, because then we can come up to this raised spot where we have a little more space and do our workouts. Oh, I could do some yoga.
That's exactly what it's for.
Yes, that's exciting. When are we getting started?
Right now.
You want to try it? Can I try it? Ooh.
Oh, and look, I believe right now, even it's showing you stuff right here in the corner while you have the screen up.
Oh, look.
And if you don't want to watch anything, you can just put YouTube and watch your favorite YouTuber on there.
Really?
So you can watch us.
I'll watch some
while watching us.
Paths or some Off the Path with Kevin. Look, it tells you how fast you're going right there. Woo-wee! I'm already tired. I'm gonna be sore tomorrow just from showing y'all how this works. This is good. I love the screen. I think it's gonna help keep my interest a little longer than if I was just sitting here like, okay, what now? All right, so if you're interested in getting your own Yesoul bike, you should definitely check the link in the description below.
All right, guys, that's enough updates on our free shrubs and our new workout equipment. But we have something in store for y'all next week.
Yes, we do.
We are hitting the road again.
Can y'all believe it? We're going on a road trip, and I'm so excited.
It's only taken us, our last road trip was Thanksgiving last year.
I know, it's like been a full year. I mean, we did go somewhere over Independence Day, but that was like local in Texas. This is our first out of state trip, and I'm so excited.
This was the last place we came home from in our RV.
Right.
And we're going back.
We're going back.
Except for this time, we're not doing it in an RV. We're doing it a completely different way.
Yes, I can't wait to show you guys. The kids don't know we're going. It's going to be a surprise for them, and it's going to be a good time. So make sure you tune in next week.
Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We love you, and we'll see you next week on the road.